Worldview, self-view, roadmap. 3 elements to getting the sale across the finish line, along with the 5 stages, the 3 pillars, but in essence, it's like worldview, self-view, roadmap. And this is something I learned in a group that I'm in. Yeah, it's part of Russell Brunson. I want to say his Expert Secrets, best book. If you have not read that, you need to read that, and all 3 of his books. But worldview, right? That's this alignment that your domain is important. Now, if I'm reaching out to someone, I had like several calls today. Some of them, they got it. Some of them didn't get it. Some of them had like the exact opposite worldview from me, so far in a different galaxy that I was like, I don't even know where we can take this, but I appreciate you responding to me, and keep me in mind for the future if I can ever help you again. And some conversations that were close, and they were kind of wrapping their head around this worldview that the domain is important. My thesis is your domain equals your brand is your brand equity. It's the biggest risk and opportunity that you have to scale. Now, it's interesting because I talk to a lot of people. We talk to a lot of people, media options. I mean, any given time, I've got so many negotiations going on. And I think negotiation it could be too strong of a word. Some of them, it's interest, it's not desire, right? Some of them are pretty intense. But one of the things, like once you get worldview aligned, or you kind of get it to that point, then you have to increase self-view. And it's interesting because like self-view comes in different forms based on the different buyer type. Like people in corporate America, their VP of marketing or CMO, listen, their self-view is different, right? Their self-view doesn't have the same impact of a founder who's putting money on the line and has to have a belief in that money, right? Has to have a belief in that investment, that the domain is an asset, that it's integral for their brand. And the beautiful thing is that once I do see that, it's beautiful because they're going all in. And the beauty is not that they own their domain name, they bought it from me, but it's really in like this belief in this fire and this passion, this purpose for the building. And they've just built some amazing brands. And we've helped so many companies. I forget how many companies I've helped. It's crazy. I'm like, yeah, I helped that company. I almost helped that company. But worldview, self-view, and then you got to give them a roadmap, an easy and clear way to make it happen. And believe it or not, we've got a couple domains that are just like taking time. A lot of it is just error on the buyer's part, of the seller's part, as far as filling out escrow and KYC and that kind of thing. But it's got to be simple. Domains are assets. They're assets. It's simplicity. Customers reward simplicity. Anyways, think about that if you're negotiating. Think about that if you are like buying a domain name and you're thinking about it. It's like, what's your worldview? But how does that worldview align with people who've built amazing brands? And why? Ask yourself this, like, why is there such a massive market for companies buying domain names and buying handles and creating simplicity and clarity? It's because it's rewarded, right? It's rewarded with conversion, trust, brand equity. If you have not already done it, go and download my book, domainingbrokersecrets.com. Check out my podcast. Check out mediaoptions.com.